Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
You're in Vegas for a short trip, right? Enjoying the festivities. I seen you did a couple interviews. Had a couple, yeah, some after party stuff. Did you have any meetings with the UFC though? That's the question I think that most people want to know.
Nah, that's a bit over my pay grade, brother. It's I'm just I'm on the show up and put my hands up program. There's no real meetings at the stage.
Oh, really? I'd expected that you would be sitting down with somebody. I mean, since you're making the long flight over there.
Nah, like it was just like Israel wanted to go over there and catch up as friends. Like that was really like the motivation for it. We had a UFC 300 as our little excuse, but nah, it was like me and Israel's last little holiday before we get
Mhm.
straight into camp and back to work and stuff like that. And like yeah, he wanted to do it, so I obliged, and like it's just one for the books. You know what I mean? Been to Vegas many times, obviously, like as part of work and part of fightings, but it was like very cool to just go over there as friends and hang out and catch up. So it was just smoke and mirrors, mate.
All right. All right. Did you get to trade with Zuck? That's the question, because I know that last time they didn't they didn't want you around them.
Oh, still not this time, brother. And let's just put it one way. I don't think I'm holding my breath. I don't think I'm holding my breath.
All right, all right. Well, I had to ask. I had to ask. All right, so you did an interview with Ariel. A couple things, mentioned in that interview. They offered you Saint Denis for September, and then you said you wanted Gamrot in June. Now you got Beneil, someone that you wanted to fight, coming out and doing an interview and saying that he said, I could see myself fighting either Dan Hooker or Morcano. So would you rather take the Beneil fight in June? Is that better fight for you, think?
When's like I saw yeah, like someone sent it to me and he said summer. I don't know when summer is, brother, but summer's too far away. June, June on that card, and if
Mhm.
Benil wants it, oh, I would love to. I would love to. Obviously, I don't like. I would love to take that fight. Is that the timeline that he kind of suggested?
Yeah, summer means June, July, August. That's summer for
June, July,
Americans.
for International Fight Week, I will punch Benil Dariush head clean off his shoulders. There's no doubt about it. He's, um, yeah, like that would obviously be my top pick, but he's just been very quiet about shooting a shot. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if that's a date that he's willing to commit to. He commits to that. Hey, if I get a contract through, I won't. I'll be signing that in about 2 seconds. But obviously, Moicano's there as well. Beneil doesn't want it. Moicano hit it. Calling me easy money. Pava, you're the easiest money I've ever seen in my life, you chinless scumbag. I'll come for him in a heartbeat.
What'd you think of the fight that he had with Jalen Turner?
Yeah, yeah. I saw him get hurt in the start of the fight, and then I saw him get just absolutely dropped in the end of the. I don't think he'll be good to go by June. I don't think. I think. I think you might have to wake him up. I think you might have to. I just don't think it'd be good to go. I feel like even though he out grappled him and eventually like got the victory. Yeah, like there have been some insult shared on his behalf saying I can't grapple and I can't do this and I can't do that. Mate, I'm not Drew Dober and I'm not Jalen Turner. Like you need to relax. Calling me easy money. That's absolutely laughable, my friend. And for that insult alone, you cannot turn down a June date. For that insult alone, I'll also punch his head clean off his shoulders.
So So Beneil is the guy that you would like to fight.
The top
Marcano's
pick
the backup plan.
is that if that's the name that comes across my desk, obviously Beneil, because of these stupid rankings, I don't actually believe. Then Moicano, of course, easy money as he puts it. And then number 3 is any human with arms and legs. 2 arms, 2 legs. I'll also punch your head clean off your shoulders. I don't know. I don't know how more simply I can put this than that. Beneil, Moicano, anyone.
All right. The International Fight Week, they announced the main event, McGregor and Chandler. It's finally happening. I mean, probably many people probably thought it would never happen. What do you think of them talking about this like new division? Like they want to introduce a new division. Like Chandler talked about it. I think McGregor has also talked about it, the 165-pound title.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I think like because 55 and 70 are such deep divisions, like to have 3 around the same it'll be pretty cool. Like if you're gonna introduce a new weight class, especially in terms of men, like that is head and shoulders. Like just move it to 55, 65, 75. Of course, but it's like that's like obviously a huge motivation for me for getting on the card. Is just, mate, I'll legally change my name to Tonya Harding because I'll be sneaking around the bloody car park, man. That's like obviously like why I want to be on the card is that you want to be like, that's the biggest fight in MMA. That's the biggest fight in the UFC. That's the biggest fight coming up in the world. Like we've got the world title coming a couple weeks before that. But McGregor Chandler's the biggest card, the biggest fight in our sport. So it's like either of those guys fall out, slip on a banana peel in the last couple of seconds. I'm a gambling man myself. Let's just put it that way. I'm a gambling man myself. So if I'm gonna go all in on red or black, I want to be a part of that card just in case something happens. Or I make it nah.
You do the Tony Harding. I see. But yeah, man, that sounds perfect, man. It is perfect. You get a good fight, and just in case one of those dudes fall out, you slide in and do your thing, man. It's happened many times. I think the second biggest fight that out there is probably for the BMF title. You know what I mean, with the Max Holloway. Like, does that interest you? Because you've told me that BMF title, yeah, man. If I could get the pay-per-view points, then I'm down to fight whoever.
Yeah, of course. Like it just has to all kind of align and make sense. And obviously, you need like a BMF eliminator. Like that's why originally, like I was calling for the green fight. Like that's originally what it was to the fans. Like I suggested that, like that's a BMF eliminator. And there wasn't any fans that were had any counter arguments to that. Like me and Bobby Green would be a heck of a fight just for the fans. I feel like I owe it to the fans, and I would also love to step in and compete against them and line yourself up for BMF because after that Jim Miller performance at UFC 300. Bobby Green's stock is right back to where I feel like it deserves to be and where it's always been. And I like always, if nothing comes together International Fight Week, Bobby Green's got 2 arms and 2 legs, brother, so he fits the bill. And I'd love to bring him down to Perth and do that one at home, just for the fans. I feel like that'll be cool.
Definitely cool. What'd you think of the knockout, man? With 1 second left, that was just insane.
Oh, wild, absolutely wild. That's the danger of the sport for Max to have the fight in the bag and then to put it all on the line. That's BMF shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to fight him unless it's if you have to say if there's but in your statement, you've immediately disqualified yourself from the BMF conversation. It's gone over your head, my friend. If you have to say I'll fight him, but if there's any if buts or maybes, you disqualified yourself, my friend.
There you go. And the other big lightweight fight was Arman versus Oliveira. Arman wins that fight. Then we find out that immediately afterwards he passed on the title shot, and then they booked the Poirier Islam fight. Do you feel like he made a big mistake by passing on that title shot?
Mm, mm, I didn't actually watch that fight. I missed that fight. I was in the bathroom, but I saw him jumping out of his pants. That's about all I saw. The UFC do not look fondly on it. Like, let's just put it that way. If there's a big the UFC, they hate that shit. They do not look fondly on people turning down title fights. So yeah, Poirier gets a shot against Makhachev in June, but brother, like McGregor or Chandler win. Well, one of them has to win. At the end of June, they win. They immediately jump ahead of Arman. Max Holloway, because Arman turned that fight down, Max Holloway is immediately ahead of Arman in terms of the lightweight title picture. Just that's the way the game is played, brother. Like, but there's obviously guys that do it this, like that have done it and then have won anyway. Like Drickus, like the stars aligned and everything like worked out perfectly for him. Like he turned it, like it does work. It does work. It might work in his favor. You know what I mean? But I just know from my years of being a part of the sport, or my decades of being a a part of the sport, that the UFC really, really, if you turn down a title fight and they can fuck you over, they will. They'll do it. They'll do it with Lubon, brother. You're cooked.
Well, Lubon, all right. Did you did you see the walkout though? Like Armin like try to punch a fan. I guess the dude was flipping him off.
That was cool. That might have been the coolest. That would be the coolest thing Arman's ever done. Oh, I will admit that. We've had our differences in the past, but I thought that was pretty sick. You get what you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? You stand there flipping me off when I'm about to have a fight. Before and after as well, I've almost hit someone after a fight. Lucky my coach is quite fast, but quite fast and good at intercepting punches because I've been there myself. But yeah, like there's a certain level of respect that you demand as a fighter, and that's it. Like I feel like, yeah, like Arman's took his stuff to me in the past. I've took my stuff back to him in the past. Obviously, if we ever fight, we're gonna fight, and that's cool. But just because I say something to Arman doesn't mean that any old mug can flip off Arman and he doesn't. That's not how I see it. On the same thing as like if I get knocked out, Arman says something about me. It's like, well, just because he said it doesn't mean that any old mug can walk up to me and say word for word what he said. Like there's still like me and him will still fight. We'll still tip our hats, touch our gloves, and have a fight with each other, which is, yeah, a lot of people don't really understand, I guess.
Hey, I agree with you. I think he did the right thing, man. You don't do that stuff to fighters. Like, how do you don't know them? Like, what do you think? You got a secret like barrier? Like,
yeah, Pat Brown's done it before on his one of his. That's like, yeah. Sometimes you need to put your beers down and really have a good hard look at yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Has that ever happened to you outside of that one time you just talked about, like a disrespectful fan? Because I've seen it happen to fighters in front of my eyes. You know what I mean? And I've seen fighters hold themselves back, like they deserved it.
I don't really want to speak on it too much.
Okay.
I like getting paid as a guest fighter, but we'll we'll leave it. We'll leave that question. I like my job, brother.
Okay. All right. How's the arm now? You know what I mean? Like with the training and all that.
Now we're good to go. We're back like sparring the big boys, and it feels good. Like that's much longer than I took last time. I did everything properly and by the book. So now the arm is yeah. Like I'm not stupid. I knew the second time it goes, well, whatever guy I fight is gonna probably heavily target it. So It actually needs to be 100%. Because it'd be stupid if I was fighting someone and they had broken their arm twice. Like, you can guarantee that I'm going to start the fight with 40 left kicks. Like, there's and just make sure, you know what I mean, for my own.
For sure. Yeah, you've been helping people out for their camps, like Carlos, and Carlos got a fight. So does Kevin, I believe, right, as well, right? You've been helping those guys out.
In camp. They're man, they're looking sharp. They're looking good to go, and it's good to get the party started. You know, get those boys off because it's been quite quiet around city. But obviously, then me and June, and then whoever's up in Perth, which will be most of the team. I'd say even Carlos and Kev will be looking to turn around and jump on that Perth card. So that'll be a big one for city kickboxing. So it's good to get the engine fired up again.
Definitely, like the old days, right? When you guys had like 5 dudes fighting on one card.
Yeah. Eugene loves that. Eugene, when he can pack when he can absolutely pack a card out. Yeah, he likes it. He likes it. He thinks we all perform together very well as a unit.
Aaron too. What's the situation with him right now? You know what I mean? I know you guys are pushing for him to get on the card, or the Perth card, probably.
I think the UFC, in terms of it's good to just keep him busy. I know he's got something just to keep him busy. You know what I mean? But he just has to stay. That nothing's a shoo-in with the UFC contract. It's just nothing's a shoo-in with the UFC title. You just a lot of it lies in opportunity. If we look at a UFC title, it's what Strickland on a 1-fight win against an unranked opponent gets a it happens. Michael Bisping steps in, Ally Aquina even stepped in short notice or on a day's notice. It's just the nature of the sport. It's the same with getting your UFC contract. UFC don't bail you 12 weeks out and be like, hey, do you want a UFC contract? It's bro, if Perth, someone 2 weight classes, a weight class higher than him, breaks their leg, walking on the bus to the weigh-in, well, then he's going to have to be ready. That's just what it comes down to. He's going to have to stay ready. He's going to have to be ready. Obviously, contender series, I know that's coming around at the end of the year, but it's either short notice or contender series. But he's definitely has the skills to pay the bills.
All right, one last thing. UFC 302, the lightweight title. You know, you mentioned that a little bit earlier. Makhachev versus Poirier. Is that fight interesting to you?
Stylistically, not that interested. But obviously, I would obviously my eggs in the Poirier basket. If we're talking about who deserves to win a UFC title, Dustin Poirier is pretty much, in my eyes, the front guy of that queue. So to see him do it and defy the odds would mean a lot. When I say it's a guy like me, that's a guy like me. That's a guy that just stuck at it longer than anyone else could be bothered. That'll be all heart. What's his thing? Paid in full.
Yes.
That title, that'll probably be the most rewarding title we've seen in history. So obviously, I will that aspect of the fight excites me a lot.
Yeah, I see a mutual respect between you and Dustin on that plane. You know what I mean? You guys are kind of very similar in many ways in that way. Okay, from what we have seen so far, do you think Islam is a better fighter than Khabib?
Different. They're very different. Islam's a lot more calculated. His pressure's a lot more slower. Khabib's with his ground and pound, he's a lot more. They're just different. He's a lot more of an aggressive fighter. And then that run Khabib had at the end, that's what that run was good enough that you can just retire. That was, which is pretty crazy. But yeah,
man. I hope they book you soon, man. I'm pretty sure, dude. There's so many people that message me talking about like, do you know anything about that? I was like, I don't know. You find out what I
Well,
and I ain't gonna tell you.
you do know all you got to do is message me and I'll tell you, brother. So don't play. You
I
can't play,
know.
can't play that stupid, brother.
But you know, I don't really message you about shit like that
I,
though. I'm just like,
Only when you want the truth.
yeah.